Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
Here we are, two of us still.
Yay!
Max is still AWOL.
He is indeed,
eh?
yeah.
So far we think he's either going to be the new Pope.
Yeah.
Has the new Pope ever got announced? I think it did, right?
It did, yeah. American.
I don't know what else he could be. He could be in Iran. He could be the new Ayatollah.
Yeah.
Just
they don't need one as yet, but you know.
They will do very soon. By the time this comes out, it might be.
Watch this space, I think you say.
Exactly. He's out and about on holiday somewhere. So in fact, I don't know what he's doing.
No,
I just know he's off this week.
Might be going for the fixture for United. United have got the start of the season. Might be the new United manager.
Yeah, exactly.
Before long.
Could be that as well. Yeah.
Could be far off.
Yeah. Time for a bit of donut operator.
Yeah.
Demon woman charges cop with huge knife. It's only going to end one way.
Go on it.
Yeah.
Let's
get into it.
Hi everyone, Donut here. Today we've got ourselves a horror movie. This one is actually kind of fucking scary, especially for the deputy that got attacked. You'll see. A couple of deputies responded to a call of someone... Doug, Lord have mercy. Why is everybody in my room right now? Look how big this guy's gotten. Doug grewed up. Dad has to talk about crazy lady stabbing police. You know where this is out of. It's Florida. Deputies responded to a call of someone being strangled. Standard night in Florida. Until they bust into the apartment and hear the mouth of hell level of screaming coming from inside. They move in, they still hear screaming coming from behind a door, so they try to get into that door. She comes out with a knife, and what happens next is pretty frightening. We'll be getting into that and more after a word from our sponsor. Listen here, folks, summer's already here. And if
I always think about when you, don't know, we speak about it all the time about police when they go on the on a mission at night or on a shift, that all the shit they have to put up with. And if you're sort of like going in somewhere, someone's being strangled and someone charges you with a knife,
I don't know how they do it mentally. They must be pretty tough because it must be so wearing on a regular basis, knowing that it could be life and death pretty much every day. You just don't know what you're going to sort of like come across there.
You don't, but I think it's a lot easier being a cop in England than it is in the USA.
Oh, I would think so.
Especially with the weapons that are out there. It's
big time. You're more susceptible to getting shot and stuff like that in the US. Yeah. Big time.
I think so.
Way more.
.com/donut. I want you guys to seriously give me your opinion on the first story that we're going to talk about. Not too long ago in Miami-Dade, Florida, a 50-year-old man was out at the bar having a great time, having a bunch of drinks, which, you know what, that's his God-given right in Miami, Florida. This dude meets a lady at a bar, takes her back home to his apartment, and then according to the initial reports, he strangles her, punches her, and then kicks her out of the apartment. She goes to knocking on a neighbor's door, screaming, "Help, help, help." Neighbor calls police. Police show up. Here's a little clip of when the police are talking to the 54-year-old man. Turns out he's been in law enforcement for 30 years. He's actually a deputy himself there in Miami.
We came back to my place of residence.
Okay.
And that's it.
And what happened inside?
Nothing.
So you guys didn't argue?
No, we didn't argue.
You just stated that you did.
I just kicked her out.
He gets arrested and charged with false imprisonment and assault. But what the woman didn't tell him is that she had a dick. Wait, that means it's a dude.
I was just going to say that.
Wow.
I was just going to say when he said what the woman didn't say, I was going to say she had a dick. Yeah. Oh, man. Imagine. Hey.
It'd be a bit of a shock, I'm guessing, wouldn't it? Especially if you weren't expecting it. So
I guess, I've been to Thailand a few times, and I've been sat in a bar overlooking some of the major strips where, you get a lot of, lady boys, as they're known as, sort of hanging around. And the amount of guys I see taking them home. And I'm like, I don't believe you don't know that's a guy.
Right.
I know they've had a few drinks and all that, and a few of them are buzzed.
Yeah.
But I think some guys, it's a little bit of a fantasy for them.
It's sort of like especially like Thailand, certain places there, it's like a big thing over there, isn't it? So, even if you probably would half expect it or quite a lot expect it, wouldn't you? So I think you'd sort of like I say, I think a lot of them would be sort of looking for that really anyway. So
I mean, there's some of them, don't get me wrong, there's some of them you just can't even tell.
Yeah.
It's like, they're that good looking as a woman.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to tell. But these certain things you just... I mean, there's no interest in me anyway, sort of thing. I'm married and all that sort of thing. I don't dabble with that kind of stuff. But I know that I used to watch guys taking girls or guys. Yeah. And I used to think, don't tell me you don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if this guy knew.
And if you've got any issues about it, just ask first.
Yeah, I feel.
Before you go anywhere, just
check.
Just say, by the way, before it goes any further.
Just do a quick service check. Right?
Wow.
Let's get back into this.
Why did you kick her out?
Because I didn't care for her.
Why didn't you care for her?
Because I didn't like her.
Okay. Did something happen inside that made you not like her, or that made you kick her off?
Whatsoever. You guys are like standing here like if I assaulted her. I did not assault her.
According to the 54-year-old deputy's attorney, the dude he brought home on accident never told him that it was a dude. So when they got to fooling around, the deputy figured out that it was a dude. Some physical violence happened and they got removed from his apartment. There's some people on Twitter arguing about this one, obviously. Some people are saying, well, you know, they didn't have to attack the woman and kick the woman out of the apartment. I personally don't believe that women have penises. And there are some people who are saying, well, that man lied and trespassed in his apartment. What happened in the end? Why is this story coming up in the news again? Well, all the charges were dropped because the victim failed to cooperate with police in their investigation. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments below. Let's move on and talk about the court system a little bit more. Guess what time it is, ladies and gentlemen? That's right. It's your daily reminder that the parole system is trash.
Going back to that thing, that first case there,
yeah,
I think it should be a crime if you're a guy and you don't tell someone you're a guy. You know what I mean? It's
very, very complicated, isn't it? It really is.
I just think it shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah,
I think it's one of them that if you're a guy and you disguise
if you don't
as a girl,
expect it, but and you're not into it, then it's sort of like it's going to be could create problems. You know, it really could. It just could.
It could get into a very
whether
serious.
It's right or wrong, that's. For the
what people want to do is up to them. You know, that's their. But I think it could get into a scenario like that guy's got himself into there, where violence kicks in.
Yeah, if it gets into where it could be going towards some sort of like sexual encounter, then it's got to be made plain beforehand. I would guess, just so listen. By the way, just so you know. Before it goes any further, because some people won't like it.
You don't want to say it in public, though, right? In a safe area, not in a closed bedroom.
Yeah,
before
you go anywhere. Yeah, absolutely. Before you go anywhere, But it's, violence against someone anyway isn't right. Anyway,
no, but that's what it could possibly lead to.
But some people would get highly annoyed, wouldn't they? So
Not only is Parole a joke, but the views on my last video were too. I thought that hostage situation was going to do good. Go watch that one. On to our story.
Have anything to say about beating that single mother? You have anything?
I found her. That's what I have to say. I found her.
You found her. You didn't beat her?
No, I did not. You see my hands? My hands are perfect. I found her.
Oh, really? You didn't do anything. You just happened to be walking around with an ankle monitor near the scene of one of the most vicious beatings that the NYPD has ever seen. So this guy was freshly out on patrol for a rape conviction, but he saw a 44-year-old woman riding her bike around and he said, damn, I really want that e-bike. He beat her so badly that a chunk of her brain detached. Doctors had to remove part of her skull. And somehow, after all of that, he called 911 on himself like a good Samaritan.
You have anything?
I found her. That's what I have to say. I found her.
Investigators tracked him down, of course, using his parole-issued GPS ankle monitor, which for the record showed him riding around on the stolen e-bike at 16 miles per hour before doubling back to the crime scene. The victim, a single mom of two, is still in a coma. Her daughter says that she was absolutely unrecognizable in the hospital. You know how bad of a beating it has to be for your kids to not recognize you? You know what? Let's just keep letting violent offenders, especially us out on parole early. Seems to be working great. Oh, we got to see how terrible some of the justice system is when it's working. Let's see an example of a total failure. Alleged failure, I mean. This one comes straight from a courtroom in Mississippi. A man beat a murder charge and immediately celebrated by flipping off the camera. Now that's some definitely innocent behavior.
I don't know, something feels off.
So what happened is this guy was just found not guilty of a 2020 murder charge of a youth coach. Big case, big charges, capital murder, and evidence tampering. The jury deliberates and the verdict comes back to not guilty. And our dude here reacts like he just won a WWE title. I mean, nothing says you're totally average innocent angel like this. To be fair, his brother was found guilty of the same murder. So maybe that was his victory lap. But if I were facing the rest of my life under a microscope, I'd maybe not flip off all the people watching. Just a thought, let's move on to an actual breakdown. This one's crazy. May 7th, 2025, Orange County, Florida. Deputies respond to a call involving a possible domestic violence and strangulation. Not the fun kind.
I know this is hard. Did your girlfriend hit you? Where did she hit you? She hit you where? She hit you everywhere?
Officers show up in an apartment just outside Orlando. Seems quiet at first until they hear screaming coming from inside of the apartment. But this is like movie level screaming. Blood curdling, panicked, back of the throat kind of screaming, like someone's getting stabbed to death. And ladies and gentlemen, this is what you call exigent circumstances. You can kick the door in.
3414. What's the apartment yard? 24?
Did you say help?
Okay,
channel for units outside Liz Court, 2006.
Then someone inside says that they're okay. Nah, it's too late for that. The officers are not buying it, and rightfully so. You still gotta investigate something like that. This could easily be their attacker getting the officers to leave, or someone threatening the victim to tell the officers to leave.
You guys, here, I heard someone yell. Let's see. I'm gonna shoot. Let me shoot across over here. Quick. What'd she say? She says I'm over there. Come to the door! What did you say, Mark? She says I'm okay. Look at my window.
So they do what pretty much any cop would do. They kick the door in.
Yep. Orange County Sheriff's Office, make yourself known.
Side by side. Give me a little kick in. There you go. Give me announcements.
Orange County Sheriff's Office inside, make yourself known. Do it now. What's the name? Come to the door with your hands up. I can hear you.
Tell you what, it's intense. Like I say, when you look at the policing over there, you've got a situation here where they're screaming in an apartment. Someone's made a call saying he's been beaten up. The police go around. I don't know how fast they got there, but it seemed pretty quick.
They usually get there pretty quick over there.
Kick the door in with a gun pointing in.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, you know, they've got it under control as such. If you want.
Yeah.
There's a couple of police officers there. I just try to compare it to over here. I know it's very different. It's very so like it would have took fucking hours for someone to come round.
Oh, definitely,
right?
Especially armed officers as well. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
You know.
But you wouldn't get armed officers, number one, unless someone.
Oh, not
unless they heard that someone had a gun, or it was a house that was known to have guns.
Yeah, not off the bat you wouldn't. No, they'd be just like normal officers with like your truncheon or whatever.
Yeah, pepper spray.
That's pretty much it.
And a taser.
They have
maybe.
taser these days, don't
they? Do,
so.
yeah. Well, not all of them. Some of them have tasers.
Yeah.
But at the same time though, for someone to go around and not know the other people could be carrying a knife or a gun over here. There's potential for that.
Especially knives anyway.
Just to get the instance of a cop on the scene takes forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
They breach, see a woman scream, and then run to the bathroom. Officers clear the front of the apartment, and the screaming just gets louder.
Movement. Doors moving.
Come out now with your hands up. Do it now.
That was a female screaming, yes?
Yep.
All right.
Just like by this room.
All right, we're taking the room. We can hear a female screaming for help.
All right, take right.
Take the ram.
Left to his kitchen.
Picture this, you're inside a dimly lit apartment. The back room is pitch black. You're moving through the weapon drawn and heart pumping. Flashlight, barely catching glimpses of furniture. You've heard cries for help, screaming, and general butt puckering activity. I mean, it's almost like A24 wrote this. This is creepy. Officers get to the back of the apartment and find the bathroom door closed where the banshee ran into.
Stay by.
Are they both in there?
Oh, I guess so.
The sheriff's office. You need to come out now with your hands up. You need to come out right now with your hands up. Breach her up.
They decide to breach the door because they still don't know if someone's being killed in there. They had no idea what would happen next.
Breach.
Oh shit!
Jeez.
Calm down. Calm down.
They breach the door and she comes out screaming with a fucking huge chef's blade in her hand. Full tilt, screaming, weapon in hand, straight at the deputies. We're talking full on boss fight. Dude, those are straight being possessed sounds. None of those cops are gonna be able to sleep for weeks. This is straight full-on horror movie jump scare lunge out of a dark corner. What do the deputies do? Of course, to protect their own lives, they shoot her. 2 deputies open fire. She's struck, slumps down in the corner. They immediately go into rescue mode.
We need a medical team in here. Everybody out. Medical team in.
They rendered aid. Ambu got there, tried to save her, but she died. No deputies were injured, and the knife was recovered on scene. According to the police, Eugene held onto the knife after the shots were fired. A deputy deputy removed it from her hand. I do have to say that is a deadly weapon. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement is investigating, of course. As of now, there's still no official explanation of why she decided to run at a bunch of deputies with a knife. There are no signs of any other victim or person at all in the apartment. Just a 911 call to screams to breaching to fighting a demon. Let me know in the comments below. Is this one of the more terrifying police videos that you've ever seen? Do you think the deputies handled it right, or could they have done something else? That's all I have for you fine people today. If you want to help support the channel, go on.
What else are you going to do?
Wow. Well, the call before was someone saying my girlfriend's been hitting me everywhere. So obviously they were thinking that there was two of them in there. So I don't think they had much choice really to go in there and
obviously mental issues, right?
Oh, straight up, gotta be absolutely nailed on. I mean, it's just not the act of a normal person, is it? Thinking straight, and I don't think the cops had absolutely no choice whatsoever there, did they, but to shoot her, because coming up with a knife like that, with the screaming and everything, must have been absolutely terrifying.
And it's dark.
Well, you keep forgetting, don't you, see some lights there, but there's just flashlights out there. There's no lights on in the room or anything, or through the windows or anything. It's just like torchlight, isn't it? So,
wow. I wonder how many people now are growing up think to themselves, I'll be a cop.
Yeah.
Especially if you do something, someone charges you a knife and you shoot them, and then all of a sudden you're under investigation.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Big time,
the videos proves enough there for me. Look, she charged at me, someone shot her.
Yeah.
And end of story.
It should be. Absolutely, yeah.
It's clean cut.
It's just sort of, like I say, you must be in a certain state of mind and have a certain temperament to be a copper, to be a good copper. Because it's, every single day you could be facing something like that anytime. But
it's tough on that, right?
It's just
craziness going out. I don't know. She may have been let down by the system for being a nutcase.
That's it. We don't know the full details, but all we can go off is what we've seen there and what we've heard there. So it's tough on that. Wow.
Enjoyed it though, as always with Donut. Hope you guys did as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.